Recording. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. It's Wade T. Lightheart from the Prosperity and Health Alliance, WadeLightheart.com. And we are live, and Adam from Los Angeles, California. We are excited and delighted to have you joining us this evening for the part 2 of our strategic business upgrade. So last week we did week 1. And we went through all the things of creating an effective business map. What are the things you need to do? What do you need to go by? Where are some key elements and mistakes that people make? And how to, ask yourself better questions, because ultimately quality of your life is determined by, excuse me, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions that you ask. So, I'm going to move this in and we're going to get right into it. Let me just share my screen as we get going. For those of you who didn't join us last week, you can go to my Facebook, Wade Lightheart on Facebook, and you can go kind of just scroll through. I didn't put many postings on it. It should be still up there. And then this will also be posted on our training library and the YouTube channel. So let's get to sharing our strategic upgrades for today. All right. Thank you for joining. By the way, I don't often answer the Facebook feed, just with the way the dynamics are here as a one-man show. I got Facebook feed. I'm running this on Zoom. It's being recorded. So I don't always answer instantaneously when you say hi, but I want to say in advance hi for all you people who have joined us this evening. Thank you very much. And I do comment if you have questions. So if you can put those up there, that's great. Or you can share in the Zoom meeting, whichever you like. All right. So 7-week strategic business upgrade, week 2, of course. Let's get into it. Remember, if you go back to the first question is, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions that you ask. And unfortunately, most people just ask themselves the same questions over and over. Bottom line, if you want a better life, you want a better relationship, or you want a better business, ask better questions. Same thing. And so you really want to think about, what are the questions that you've been asking yourself? Like, why is my business not working? Well, you'll come up with a host of reasons. Well, why is my relationship not working? You'll come up with a host of reasons. Why am I not economically where I need to be? You'll come up with a host of reasons. What I'm going to encourage you to do is ask yourself, well, how can I be? And what if I did this? And what would it look like? And you need to get your brain putting in a positive direction as opposed to focusing so much on the negative. You is where you is, you are where you are, and that's okay. But recognize the questions you've asked yourself have really gotten you to that point. And it's not always important to focus on that. I think it's important to start asking yourself new questions. We're not going to go into that's the old side. We're going to start talking about some things that I've been asking myself in my own business and going through this process with you. So this is something that I learned at Tony Robbins' Business Mastery. I highly recommend that everybody goes. It's a great course, a lot of fun, a lot of energy. But if you go through this process, it'll get you thinking. And the idea is to go through it week on week on week on week, and you can cycle through it. And by doing that, you'll get better and better at looking at the opportunities in your business instead of focusing on the challenges or problems. All right. So power section questions. This is really important. You want to be just behind the trend, not the pioneer. Every week I get asked a number of questions, whether it's online, whether it's about books, whether it's about printed materials, whether it's about a new business strategy, whether it's, look, should I use Facebook? Should I go door to door? Should I meet up in groups? Should I go to trade shows? Whatever. So here's the thing. Anytime a new medium starts, I am highly suspect to go into it right away. Let some people go out there and get some traction, because the old thing is, the pioneers, what do they get? The pioneers get the arrows, but the settlers get the benefits. So you want to find out what the opportunities are, stay abreast of them, but don't dive in right now. Stay with tried and true, especially if you're early on in the business. So I always say, if you're early on, follow, the direct guidelines of your upline, or if you're following one of the, groups, Prosperity and Health Alliance or Danny D. McCauley or any of the other great educators that are part of our business environment. Pick that and go with what's easy and simple and duplicatable and replicatable. Spend, at the first year, 100% of your time learning the process, the skills of that process of how to do your business, basically what's been proven. Once you get to a certain level, I would say that you spend at least 80% doing what's tried and true and no more than 20 on new things. And the reason is that new things can really get you in trouble. You can run into a lot of problems that way if you are just going all in on new ideas that may fail and may take the momentum out of your business when something was already working pretty well. But the bottom line, when you try new things, you don't always know if they're going to work. And I've made that mistake before. I've tried new things all in and paid the price heavily for it. And that happens from time to time. So you need to be clear and aware of those shiny object syndrome, if you will. Now, the other thing is you want to try and ensure there's an infinite number of purchases to be made. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is, and I see I forgot to put in a letter here. Okay. You want to be able to make sure that there's virtually an infinite number of purchases to be made by the clients in your business. So what does that mean? Well, here's the great thing about when you sell a Kangen water machine to a customer. Well, number one, if they just get one of the basic ionizers, they could potentially get an upgrade, okay, later on, especially with your customers that have been around for a while, like the water. Or number two, they may have a family member moving out of the house, kids, stuff like that grew up on it. They need a new machine. There is also Anaspas, okay, you got that. Then there's the Ukon shipments that occur, literally you get a new reorder either every month or you get the quarterly bonus, or actually not quarterly, it's every third of a year that you get those bonuses. And then there's the filter sales that are twice a year. So these are infinite number of purchases to be made. So you need to be promoting particularly the consumables, the Ukons and the filters every time they come around, to make sure that people know that they need to change the filter. I can't tell me how many people have got machines that don't change the filters. You need to change the filters every 6 to 12 months, right? That's a purchase. That is money for you. If you have all your people on an email, you can send that out to them and get that information from them. The other thing is you want to send out messages about the benefits of these new things, or talk about maybe creating some sort of promotion for family members who are moving out of the house, or maybe relatives. Or then there is birthdays, there is Thanksgiving, there are holidays like Christmas we went through, anniversaries, opportunities to present these products as presents. You can do this as yourself, purchasing yourself and putting that out as presents, money that you're going to spend anyways. Why not get a benefit from it? Or suggesting it to your group, because if your downline's doing the same thing, that means you can get purchases in your organization. That means you always want to be thinking about, how do I get people to rebuy what into the business, into the model? Okay, so that's a very, very, very untapped market. I got actually a whole system on that. I'm going to refer to the end on how you do that to generate more revenue. Now, next one, know the 5 ways to revitalize your business. Okay, so we're going to get into this right now, which is really, really, really important. These are the power questions. So you need to brainstorm these questions. So if you want, take a picture of the screen because you won't have time to kind of go through these. But let's say you're at your business. It's the start of the year. You lost momentum. You're not sure where you're at. What do you need to do? So here's the thing. Who are the new voices you can bring in and leverage in your business? Who are the new people? Where can you get them? How do you find them? Where do they come from? How do we get there? What's the story there? That's one thing that needs to be addressed. It needs to be built, needs to be understood, needs to be created. Okay. Next, what are some of the new questions you can ask your team, your prospects, your distributors, customers, and upline? What are some of the new questions you can ask them? Okay. So when you talk about, let's go back for I'm getting ahead of myself here. So who are the new voices you can bring in? Okay. Let's say, for example, a simple way to do it is you go out and read a book by Eric Worre, or you watch a video, you share that with your organization. You go out and watch, Tamia do a presentation that you really like. You see something from Shan or something from any one of the amazing leaders that have recorded on a video or created a product or service that made a difference in you. You tried it, you applied it, and say, hey, look, check this out. I've been using this. It's really good. This generates excitement. New voices can also be people outside the industry. For example, I'm sharing with you some stuff that I learned at Business Mastery and Tony Robbins, because Tony is a world-class strategic business innovator. So I went to his course. I wanted to learn some new ideas, and now I'm bringing these to the organization so you can ask these. So I didn't invent all this stuff. I'm bringing in a new voice. You can do the same thing. The other thing is who are some new voices you can bring in as potential customers or clients? Who are some people that you may have not gone after in your business, but you could go after? Why not go do that? Or who are some people that you could strategically partner, some new voices? Maybe it's a clinic. Maybe it's a holistic health studio. Maybe it's a practitioner in the field. Maybe it's a personal trainer. Maybe it's a dietitian. Who can you get as an authority that might have a group of people that you could bring in as a new voice into your business, into your demos, into your operations? All right. Think about those things. So again, write these questions down. And after you get done here, my suggestion is just to bring these out. And you need to go out and do the work and kind of dive into this and then create a game plan around it. So what are some new questions you can ask your team, your prospects, your distributors, your customers, and your upline? Okay, so this is a big thing. A lot of times we get into our businesses and we start telling people what to do. And you know, we're into this business not because we want to follow somebody else or do what they want. We want to do what we want. And to do what we want, that's the whole goal. And if you start dictating to your team like you're the boss, guess what? All of a sudden, they're not so motivated anymore. So rather than do that, why not ask them some questions that allow them to come up with the answers? Because if they come up with the answers, then guess what? They're going to be much more integrated into taking that action. So what are some questions that you can ask your team, your prospects, your distributors, customers, and upline? So one thing you can ask your prospects even they don't buy, you know, hey, Mary, you know, I totally cool. What's the reason that you didn't buy? You know, was it the product? Was it the price? What it is? And then when you ask those questions, instead of getting upset or being mad because they didn't buy or, you know, being turned off or thinking you're a failure, when you ask those questions, oftentimes it's answers you never imagined. Oftentimes it's answers to questions, it's things that you can actually solve. Almost never is it the reason they didn't purchase because you think, the reason that you think they didn't purchase. It's usually something else. So oftentimes you got to ask in a kind of friendly way, hey, you know, Mary, I know you didn't purchase and you said you were going to, but hey, guess what? I'd really appreciate if you just took a couple minutes and just ask a couple questions. You know, what were the reasons, you know, what was the things that held you back? What, you know, kept you from being able to purchase? What were the things that were the linchpins for you, all that sort of stuff. And if we could overcome those, maybe after you get all that out of it, you should really appreciate, by the way, if we could overcome those, would you be okay for purchasing? Could I reach out to you again? You might not have the answer, but then you can take that maybe to your upline, maybe you can take it to a sales meeting. Maybe you can take those questions that your prospects have and use it and build it into your presentation, build it into your sales pitch, build it into your promotionary materials so that you answer that in future presentations, because you don't know what you are missing, but it might be obvious to everybody else. What are some questions you can ask your distributors about how they can build their businesses? Because, you know, the bottom line that any of us here at the top ranks, it's not because I'm such a great salesperson and all that sort of stuff. It's because my distributors, you know, got involved, got into the dream, saw the vision, and grew this. And this is going to be the same in your business. So you've got to be able to ask your distributors the questions that motivate them, the questions that help them find solutions, that help them become an independent distributor. Now, you have to realize there's different types of people and personalities and stuff. And the thing is the goal is not to have a whole bunch of people that are carbon copies of you. It's about them to be the best person they can be relative to their business. So they do business their way. And like, I have a number of great distributors and they all do the business a little bit differently. They do the main points the same, but how they go about it, how they create their lifestyles and stuff is very, very different. Okay. And then what are some questions that you could ask your senior people in your organization Every time I get around the senior people in the company, I ask them what's working for them. I ask them what's not working. I ask them what are the challenges they are having with their distributors. Where are the areas that they think are the growth channels? What's growing? I ask all those questions to those people because they tell me answers and keep me abreast of things that I probably don't even know about, or they might have solved some of the problems that I'm currently having and maybe spent years figuring out those questions, and I can find it in a 10-minute, 15-minute conversation. And that's why you go to events, get around the top leaders and ask them the specific questions and challenges that you're having in your business. And oftentimes they have a great answer for you that can save you years of frustration. Another question that you want to ask is, what are some new perspectives that you can take on your business that empower you and your team to greater success? Okay, so what does that mean? Well, a lot of people will get hung up on the price, or they say no one wants to buy these machines, or it's too expensive, or they don't like this type of business, or blah, blah, blah. They all go down this, and they all have a bunch of reasons that create a limited perspective on their business. And it's a subconscious program that kind of creeps into all of our businesses. We all had this thing. And so how can you look at your business in a new and exciting way? How can you leverage what you've already done and amplify it? How do you 10X it? I always love that from Grant Cardone. How do I 10X this? And that type of thinking, that type of creative mindset is how you grow your business. It's how you expand things. It's how you leverage that supercomputer brain that you have inside of yourself that can really transform what's possible in your business life. What are some new passions that you can excite about your business? So one of the things that I think is fashion, I'm going to use an example of one of my top distributors. He's a super distributor, really, is Seahawk Top. Now, when we hung out at first, when we first started doing the business, he just wanted to make money and all that sort of stuff. But now if you look at his social media campaign, what's changed in his life is his health has become a big passion of Seahawks. And you see him taking pictures where he's out traveling, going skiing with the kids. He's going boating. He's out at the beach. He's hanging out at great places. So he's integrated a real outdoor style lifestyle for him and his family, where he gets to travel and see these amazing places and go for hikes while he's doing his business. And so he's cultivated some of his passions and plug that into his promotionary material, which you look at his social media, it's like, wow, this guy's living an amazing life. How do I do that too? Flying planes and traveling on boats and going for hikes in the mountains and skiing with the kids, hanging out in sunny locations like Hawaii. I mean, who doesn't want to have that life, right? So that's a great example of some passions. Or you can get a passion and create maybe you started a new hobby and you're going to see how this business is going to fuel that hobby, pay for that hobby, and get you going. So, and then finally, what are some new experiments you can try to kickstart your business? So let's say you've kind of tapped out your warm market, or you're not quite sure what to do or whatever. What are some experiments that you could try to kickstart your business? I remember, classic one was a 21-day trial. Another one, and one guy that went around and did door hangers and set door hangers all around. Another one went and put a promotion on social media. Another one went to a local trade organization, like commerce, those commerce meetings and stuff that they have in groups. Someone went to a meetup group. Other people did BNI, business luncheons, getting into that group. So what is an experiment that you could do? So again, 80% on the tried and true and 20% of that time. So if you're putting in 20 hours in your week, that means that 16 hours is on the tried and true. And that 4 hours a week, you're going to go out to maybe a BNI group in the morning to see if you can meet some new people and get some new connections. Okay. All right. You get the idea. Here's the next question. So who is your customer and what do they need in the next 5 years? Like, what customer do you seem to be relating to the most? Is it middle-aged people looking for retirement? Is it young athletes looking for an edge on recovery? Is it entrepreneurs, people looking to create a secondary income, or professionals? Like, who is the customer that you seem to most resonate with? And then what are they going to need over the next 5 years? Because by understanding those needs, you craft your pitch, your promotion, your outreach to them so that you get and understand what there is. And because that when you're doing your presentation or you're talking to them, they need to go, that's right. Okay. That's what they need to say. That's right. I need that. Okay. So, now another thing is what distribution channels are you not maximizing? What areas could you access that you're not going? If you're kind of doing the regular, friends, family, that type of thing, people in your peer group and stuff, where could you go where you could get more people involved in your business? What would be an area? Maybe you could do presentations at senior citizens homes. Maybe you could partner up with some health clinics. Maybe you could go to a trade show. Like, what channel are you not using in your business that you could use now, or you could do an experiment with? So again, going back to that experiment, you want to dedicate, hey, this month I'm going to try this trade show. This month I'm going to try a BNI group. This month I'm going to go see if I can hook up at a senior citizens homes to maximize the health of the senior citizens. And what technology are you not maximizing? What are you using for marketing materials? Are you doing, how about Zoom? Zoom is a great way to do a presentation with people. If they can't come out to a great, you can do a picture online. You can call people using Skype and do video connection or FaceTime or any one of these applications. Are these ways that you could actually integrate and follow up with your program? How about a calendar? Are you using a technological calendar so you can book your appointments and event and keep track of where you're going and what you're doing? Maybe there's accounting software. Maybe you're spending a lot of time on counting for your travel, your dollars and stuff. Maybe there's accounting software that you could use. What technology could you use? Maybe it's about social media promotion. Maybe it's about storing your stuff on YouTube. Maybe you're like emails, to creating an email list on an autoresponder sequence that will allow you to blast all your people at once in your organization. Okay. And what identity do you want people to associate with your business? So what does that mean? So what is it that you want people to feel about when they associate with you, when they associate with your presentations or doing business with you? And if you look out there, there's a variety of different cultures inside the Enagic program that have emerged over the last, 15 years here in North America. And they have different identities. And I find it ironic sometimes that people get mad at the other people because of the way they're running their identity. So there's a lot of young bucks that are on, they're using online platforms. Okay, great. And they're pitching to maybe a certain segment. They're not trying to pitch to everybody. They're picking a certain segment. There are other people that are delivering water. They love meeting people and doing water deliveries. That's a very group. There's other people that are creating stores that actually are doing that. And then there's other people that are out there doing the regular demos and group demonstrations and things like that. So which identity are you part of? And are you creating a community? Are you creating a business community? Are you creating a health organization? What is the identity that people are going to associate with you and your business? And that'll help you also. Who are the people you're going to resonate most? So it kind of goes up to that first question. And then finally, how do you get orders and revenue out of your current business? Are you sending out promotions on the filters? Are you telling people about the Ukon and the benefits of it? Are you talking about the Anaspa? Do you have one? Do you have all the products? I mean, you should have all the products if you're really doing this business and you don't have the water machine, the Anaspa, and the Ukon. I mean, really, are you really all in? Probably not. Now, I understand when you start out, you might not have the money. I get that. I understand that. But are you working towards that? Are you getting ready to make that purchase and understanding that and getting excited about it? Because that's going to translate into your organization, into people. I remember when they do these promos back in the day, they used to put Anaspa promotions on, and we would just sell tons of these things all of a sudden. And so those are powerful things. Filter sales. Are you telling people about that? This is a way to get orders and revenue out of your business. Again, also asking questions about birthdays and gifts and telling stories about how you made someone's day. So for example, let's say you bought your parents a water machine for their anniversary. Okay. Now that's cool. You went and did it. It's a great thing. They got the benefit. Your parents are excited. They're drinking the water and everything. Now, how about you tell that story to your organization about how maybe take a video of your parents getting it and being excited and drinking the water and seeing the benefits. And look what I did for my parents. They're so happy. They're healthy. They're feeling good and they don't feel like they need to go to the home. Isn't that great? And then other people are going to think in your organization, well, hey, that's a great idea. Maybe I could do that for my parents. Or, maybe I could help my kids with that. My kids moving out, you know what? They need to get on the water. They're going to college. Let's get that out and go to them. So these are ways that you can get extra revenue out of your business by offering more services and creative solutions and sharing ideas. Okay. That's, now, this is the big one. So, all right. So you can set some goals, and there's a really interesting thing. This was developed by Jay Abraham, and it's basically how to increase your business by like 33, 77, 100 thing, or 100 or 77 or 150% by changing three different factors. There's three different factors. You can increase the number of clients in your business. You can increase the average transactional value. So most people focus on just getting more clients, and that's a great strategy. It's basic. And sometimes we have to go back to that, especially if you've been in management mode. I need to get more clients because every time you make a sale. Now, increase the average transactional value. I remember years ago when Balaj and his group, this was before they were in the online world, they created the trifecta. They actually asking for the sale for the water machine, the Ukon, and the Anispal all at once. So they turned a sale that was from $4,000 into a sale that was like almost $10,000. And it was even more successful than just asking for the one. It's kind of counterproductive. So that was a way of increasing the transactional value. And that was a breakthrough in the entire Enagic business model, in my opinion. I don't think he gets enough credit for it. It was criticized a lot about it, but at the end of the day, I think that drove revenue in Enagic by a considerable model, and kudos to them for doing that. Third, increase the frequency of repurchases. Now, when Enagic introduced the Ukon, which is, a monthly subscription of a consumable, because you buy the water machines, all you need to consume after that is the filters. But when they brought in the Ukon, that became another thing. The E8 PA business, so, that whole model became another benefit where you could increase the transactional value. Talking about the filter sales each year. Those are ways of increasing the frequency of the purchases. Now, I've done a online training where I dive deep into this. I've already done it. It's on the Prosperity and Health Alliance, how to increase the income in your business. So go check that out. It's a great model that will allow you to kind of come up with some of these items that you can increase the thing. And it's interesting, just a 10% increase in the number of clients and a 10% increase in your transaction, or 25 increase in transactional value, and a 1.3, a third increase in the frequency of purchases will make about 100% difference in your business. And I break that data all down in that video. You can use it, and I highly recommend that you check it out in order to do that, because if you're just starting out and you're not keeping track of your team, please keep track of your team. Like, get their names, get their emails, get them on a list, and ideally get them on something like I've got here, like an Aweber or something. That way you can communicate throughout your organization, and get your downlines organizations as well, so that you can communicate on their behalf, because oftentimes you can generate sales. And I've seen so many times where people got fired up because all of a sudden their upline was driving sales under them from people that they were following up with. They were telling communications, they were creating opportunities that they didn't even know about. And that's a way that can explode your business in exponential growth. So those are some ideas that you can do. I would recommend, if you're really serious about leveraging revenue that's already just lying around in your business, go to this YouTube link here. You can click on the picture of it. I'll pop it into Facebook, or you'll get the component that's linked. It's on the Prosperity and Health Alliance, how to increase the frequency of your purchase and stuff. And then finally, go through these questions. Redefine your business and make your vision compelling, practical, and actionable, right? At the end of the day, you got to have enough emotion and enough energy that you can go out and get things done in this business. And this is the way that you do it. This is the way that you grow your business. This is the way that you you don't just take excitement, but you put it into a practical and actionable plan. You ask yourself these questions. When you start asking these questions, the strategy reveals itself. Then you take action on it, and then you hone and refine that strategy over and over. And you continually do this. This is the constant and strategic improvements in your business. You'll continue to refine. So I'll tell you a quick story about this to give you an idea. So in another business that I have, my business partner, Matty G, he's a great guy. He's a very successful online marketer. So we got started in the business. We were pioneers. We were innovative. We took off and didn't know why we were successful, and crashed and burned, and then rebuilt our business a number of times. But recently we did a campaign. We were doing a campaign that literally our marketing team has continued to strategically innovate over the course of a couple of years, like hundreds and hundreds of little micro adjustments and micro tests. And guess what? They got a massive breakthrough that's leading to exponential growth of that business. Now, people look at the exponential growth part of it and say, oh, wow, that was a breakthrough. Keep in mind, we've been in this business for 15 years, and we were highly focused and specialized by integrating new business systems and strategic innovation systems and how we ran our business. And then that allowed us to hone down and create departments that could hone down and focus on specific items. Why am I telling you that? Why I'm telling you that is because these questions may seem overly simplistic, or they may seem complex, or they may seem that they don't make any sense to you at this time. What I'm going to suggest to you is, by asking these questions and activating your super brain that is lying ready to serve you, what happens is, and then going out and taking action on that, you'll start refining your message. You'll start refining who you talk to. You start refining to your procedures. And all of a sudden, you start seeing opportunities inside your business that you never saw before. You start seeing money come in that you didn't know even existed. You start having answers for questions that you didn't have answers for before, because you've got your brain not in the humdrum of going the old way. You've got it activated and thinking in the new way. And that's what we're here to do over the 7 weeks. If there's anything I can say to you over these 7 weeks, is ask yourself better questions, and you get yourself better results. And it's a lot more fun. It re-energizes your business and allows you to take the hold of the success that you truly deserve in your life. I'm so grateful for your efforts. I'm so grateful for you listening to us each and every week. I hope you enjoyed this little session. We'll be putting it up on the channel real soon at the Prosperity and Health Alliance. Again, it's a great year. It's 2020. It's a whole new decade. Look, why don't you take the time, lean into this business, really power yourself up, and truly hit those economic goals that you can possibly, that you never dreamed was possible. They're there. They're ready for the taking. You can do it. Rock it out. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.